stock car really is? Well, with the yellow flag out, let's watch now a bumper-to-bumper tour of David Pearson's car, this one that he's racing today.
This is a racing stock car, 1969 style. It's the car of a champion, David Pearson of Spartanburg, South Carolina, at the wheel. And 11 times this season it has flashed across the finish line first in NASCAR Grand National competition. It's a unique automobile. It's a 69 Ford Torino Talladega. It's low and it's fast. It has no headlights. It has no windshield wipers. And it has no windows. It has no door handle because the door doesn't open. And in the back, the fuel filler neck is recessed for aerodynamic reasons. And now, let's take a look at the back seat, or where the back seat was. Bolted to the floor of the back seat is a 1-gallon thermos wrapped in asbestos. In it, water in case David should need a drink during the long, hard hours of the race. Also, there's an automatic fire extinguisher, which goes off by itself in case the car is involved in an accident. Because the minimum weight is 3,900 pounds in stock car racing, this car did not weigh quite that much, so there's a lead block bolted to the floor. Also on the floor is a motor-driven rear axle cooler, and then throughout the back are the safety roll bars to keep the car off the driver should it overturn. And now, let's take a look up front. In the driver's compartment, with safety being one of the prime considerations, the floor has an asbestos rug to keep the heat and, if necessary, fire out. On the right side, the roll bars are extended down into the sides of the car. Next to the driver's seat is a shoulder harness release. And then, looking up to the top of the car, a very wide-angle rear view mirror. David, what about the dashboard? What are those things we see on the dash?
Well, Chris, this is the fuel pressure gauge, and this here is the rear end pump that pumps the grease to the rear end. Of course, this is a water temperature gauge, and this here is the transmission cooler that we use on road courses, which we don't have it in right now. This is the warning light just in case the transmission cooler does quit. This is the oil pressure gauge, of course, a cigarette lighter, oil temperature gauge, and this warning light here is for in case the alternator or fan belt breaks, we know what it is. Of course, we have two different tacks. One's what we call a telltale tack. It has the little red line. It tells just exactly how many RPMs the engine is turning.
The engine revolution counter, David. How tight do you turn the engine?
We usually turn around 72 to 7,400.
What about these switches over here on the far left?
This one here is the accessory switch, which makes the alternator work. This one here is the rear end cooler, and this here is an extra switch in case the other ignition gives out. And this here is a switch, and this one here is the starter.
There you have it. David Pearson ready to go.